Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to touch on something, and I hope y'all don't get mad at me, and I hope I don't lose viewers and stuff, but you know, the name is common sense. And I'm going to make a common sense statement about some stuff, and I hope it don't make you mad. But if it does, I guess it does. Okay, let me start out and tell you, there ain't nobody can change the situation you're in but you. You have to figure out how to change your situation. Doesn't matter if it's financially, spiritually, if it's you're homeless or what. Okay, I understand these people out there, and I'm not saying, there's people out there that's got mental issues and stuff like that can't help themselves. But I'm talking about the people that can. Okay, what got this going is I was talking to a person, and they was talking about what a bad situation they're in. Can't afford nothing. I'm on a fixed income. I can't do no better smoking cigarettes. And, they drink. They enjoy the little, okay. I'm sorry. And I told them this. If you can afford to smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, smoke pot, and all that, you can change your situation for the better. But it's going to take you stopping that, because you take cigarettes, it's about $300 a month to smoke. Let's say you spend another $150 or so a month to drink. I don't know what it costs to drink more. I don't drink. You take, if you dip, and you're going, well, man, I'm broke all the time. I ain't got no money. Stop dipping. I did. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I've stopped dipping. I've stopped smoking. I stopped drugs. I don't drink or none of that. And this is not something I'm proud of. But it's been better part of 25 years ago. I was living homeless on the streets. I went through a bad divorce. I went to a family member for help to get, keep on my feet. And they dumped me on the streets. Okay. I got into a depression area there where, it's everybody's fault but mine. Okay. And the fact of the matter was, the whole time I was homeless, I couldn't afford a house. I couldn't afford to do nothing, but I drawed little food stamps which fed me, but I could do just enough to get the dope I needed for that time. I never run out of backer. I always had a dip. I always get a cigarette, stuff like that, you know. Okay, if I'd have put as much effort into getting the habits, or getting a home as I did habits, I wouldn't have been as homeless or as long as I was. Okay, I'll never forget the day that I decided I had to do something. I was living under a bridge, under an interstate. And they got them there's like a hump comes up, and then the bridge is up, so much higher. Well, I was living behind one of them. And I had nested clothes and stuff to keep me off the concrete. And, I would get under there. I had a sleeping bag, and I like to froze to death. Okay, on a normal night, it was, if it was in the 30s, I could do pretty good. It wasn't warm by no means, but I didn't think I was going to die. But one night it got to 17 below, and it didn't seem like nothing I'd done helped. And I thought I was going to die. Now, that's no joke. I really seriously thought I was going to die. Okay, you prayed, Lord, don't let me die. Don't let me die. And then, you know, it just come to me. You're going to have to stop the foolishness. You're going to have to make a change, because I wasn't hunting a job. I was just blaming everybody and doing just enough to keep my habits going. And, you know, the world was to blame. Oh, the whole world. Okay. I'd worked before, went to college and, you know, stuff like that. And it always paid my way. But when I hit that, it was a wall. I started walking the streets, putting in applications anywhere they'd take an application. I washed my body in a creek and it was freezing cold, so I didn't stink. I went and worked enough to make, and I ain't gonna lie to nobody, I went to the dollar store and I bought a bar of Ivory soap to wash with. Okay, I washed my clothes with that bar of Ivory soap, to where when I went to look for a job, I didn't stink. And, you know, my clothes wasn't nasty. Okay, I had to make a change. And, you know, I walked around for well over 2 months hunting a job before a girl at Wendy's gave me an opportunity. And, you know, she said, if you want a job, you be at this back door at 4:30 in the morning. And she said, you got a job. But if you're not here, you don't have a job. There was a big frost on that morning. I remember I had to walk about, I'm going to say 4 blocks from where I was, you know, under that bridge to Wendy's. And, man, it was cold. I didn't have a jacket. I had a long sleeve shirt, but, you know, it was a cold walk, but I was there. And she told me, she said, every morning you be here and you got a job. Okay. I was to blame. You know, at that time I couldn't see it, but I was to blame. She told me, she said, get off the dope. If you want this job, you're going to get off the dope. I had a beard down to here, hair halfway down my back. She said, you're going to trim that beard up or you're going to wear a net. People don't want that hair in their food. And she said, you know, I did put my hair up in a net, and I trimmed my beard down, and I still had to wear a face thing, you know, to keep my hair out of people's food. But I got a couple paychecks. And then I got an apartment, and I started changing my life. I'm not on top by no means, but I'm a lot better off than I was when I was living under that bridge. And the struggle never stops. People, I'm still an addict. I'm still a drunk. I'd rather drink as anything. But I know the first drink puts me back to square one. If I take the wrong pills and stuff, I'm back on square one. So I don't touch none of it. You know, I made a choice. I made a decision. I'm not going to do that. And it's hard when you're hanging around your buddies and stuff. They're all drinking and having a good time. And, you know, I got friends, man, I think the world of. They'll say, man, you want beer? I tell them I don't drink, man. I can't drink. They respect it, you know, but they offer. And it's just, you know, common courtesy in the South. If I got a glass of tea, I'll ask you, do you want a glass of tea? Well, if they're drinking a beer, they offer me a beer. It ain't nothing, you know, malicious. It ain't that they want to see me lose everything I got. But that, you know, when they offer me a beer, I have to make a choice in. You know, if I take that drink, I know what shape it's going to put me back in, so I don't. Okay, if you're on drugs, there is a lot of places to help you. I checked myself into rehab, failed. I had a friend check me in rehab, and I got to where I was sick. Man, I was so sick. But I got to where I beat it. And it was a day by day. Until you're sitting there and you're scared to death that God's going to let you know you're going to die. You're begging him, God, don't let me die. But you're so sick and so much pain that you're praying for him to let you die, just to give you peace and, you know, get out of that misery. Okay, you got to go through that. okay, then you got to make a choice for the rest of your life when you're off of it to stay off of it, to stay clean. It'd be so much easier to get out here and drink and smoke dope and slang dope and all that, but I know where it'll put me. Okay, if you're in a bad relationship, you're in an abusive relationship, you're in, a mentally abusive relationship, whatever. Okay, there ain't nobody can change that but you. I've been married 3 times. And I'm not saying it was all the women's fault, but, I made a choice to change that situation. Right now, I don't date, won't even think about it because I know I have a mold, I guess, in my mind of what I need somebody to be in my life. Okay, I work out here, I'm feeding chickens, I'm gardening, I'm taking care of hogs and all this stuff. I'm raising baby diddles and stuff. I'm doing the cooking, cleaning, laundry, and all. I do it all. Okay, I bought and paid for this place, and I did end up on disability, got hurt, and ended up on disability, but I did not go. I wouldn't even take the drugs they offered me. I suffered through it. If I'm so bad that I can't walk, I'll take a tramadol, or sometimes I'll take 2. If that don't work, and that's about the weakest pain medicine you can get. For a while, it wasn't even considered a narcotic, but it was the weakest pain medicine you could get. And if that don't help me within 2, I go to my doctor and I get them shots in my back to where it relieves it. There's days I sit here, y'all don't see everything. There's days I lay right here on the couch. It's usually 2 pillows right here. That's because I'll be propped up against them, or I might be laid on them. There's days I sleep on this couch because my back can't stand being laid in the bed, and I got to prop myself up against this couch. Okay, they tell me all the time, George, if you need medicine, honey, you just tell us. And I make the choice not to have it because I know I have an addictive personality. And I know if I get started on that mess, that's where I'll be back. Okay, with the woman, I want a woman that's able to help me with, gardening, housekeeping. I want a partner, somebody that's, I don't expect her to pay the bills. I pay bills. That's fine. But I want her to come in and help me build from here to the next point. I don't want her out here chasing after every man in the country. I don't want her out here flaunting her body all over the country. You know what I'm saying? I don't flaunt myself. I mean, look, okay, I'm not out here, chasing every skirt in the country. And about 90% of the people that come and talk to me, I ain't interested. Oh, I could bring them in here, have a couple weeks with them. But if you're with a person you're not supposed to be with, what happens when the right person comes along? You're tied up in a relationship and you may slip it by and not be with the person you should be. I've had people that, say, oh, I'd come up here and be a good wife, but they're not able to do nothing, for as like cooking, cleaning, laundry, and all this. Okay, I don't seem like a bad person. I can't take that on. I cannot take a person on where I'm, physically responsible for them. I have to do the cooking for them, the cleaning for them. I got to do everything for them. I just can't. I don't have it, the time or energy anymore to do it. So I choose to be by myself. You have to make choices. And the first thing is stepping up and saying, I have to do it. Okay. If I could find a good woman that wasn't in all this foolishness and she actually come in here and, put an effort into our relationship, the house, or the farm and stuff, I'd be right there. But until then, I'd have been by myself. I'm not going to fuss, fight, cuss, quarrel, and go on all the time with somebody. Road. Not with a friend, girlfriend, nothing else. Road. I don't have to. But I make a choice to not have that in my life. Okay. If you're financially broke, which I've been there, trust me, nickels rubbing together. Every day was a constant wonder, how am I going to have this for tomorrow? How am I going to do this for tomorrow? Okay. I've been there, man. But the first thing is you got to quit feeling bad for yourself, quit pitying yourself, and go hunt that job. No, you may not be an executive in a law firm making $100,000 a year, but you might work in a gas station. That's better than nothing. Not saying nothing against people that do. I've done it. But at least they're trying. I was a custodial, man. I cleaned toilets and stuff, and then it led into a better job. But there ain't nothing I wasn't done at that time because I figured out I had to have a job if I was going to keep my house, apartment, stuff like that, and make a living for myself. I had to man up. Okay, that's the first step to your financial security is man up, woman up, whatever. Okay, I understand that some of these women have children, and maybe your husband don't pay child support and stuff like that. First thing, accept responsibility. When you was with that man and you was married that man or not, and you was bedding with that man, is he any different today than what he was then? Okay, more than likely, you wanted a bad boy that, was tough and fun, and 3 kids later, he's still tough, he's fun, he's out doing his thing. You're sitting there going, I got 3 kids and he won't pay child support, he won't help me. And okay, you know what you was getting into. Okay, I'm not saying that all bad boys are bad fathers, but that's a hard dice to roll. You find a good man that works, pays bills, trying to have a home, and all that. Don't discard him because he's not home all the time. He's doing what he thinks he needs to do to supply for you and any children you have. Respect him. And the same thing if you're a stay-at-home dad and your wife is supplying means for the family stuff, hey, step up. Show them how much you appreciate them. If you're fortunate enough that you don't have to work and you're staying home, and I understand you taking care of the kids, you're cooking, cleaning, laundry, everything. Trust me, I know how much work that is. Husbands appreciate your wives that does all that because there's a lot of them out there that don't. Okay, and they'll say, "Well, I didn't have time. I didn't do nothing all day, but I didn't have time." Okay, I've been with those type of women. If you got a woman that's doing her job, love her. Surprise her with flowers. Do things for her to show her you appreciate who she is. If you got a man that's working, the only thing I ever wanted, and it never happened, was for me to come in from work one day and one woman reach and hug me, kiss me, and tell me she loved me, to show me that she appreciated what I did. But I didn't want a good woman back in, I wanted that party girl, the good looking chick. Okay, I used to be built a lot better than I am now. And I used to be a lot better looking than I am now. And trust me, I dated a long time way out of my league. But that's what I wanted. I wanted that real beautiful girl that had the nice body, that partied, and all of a sudden, I wanted her to be a housewife. And it didn't happen. Let me check on my taters real quick, and I'll come back and we'll finish it. Okay, I'm back. I had to get my French fries out. The little French fry maker thing from yesterday, it does work. But it just works on regular taters. But I'm going to keep it because it does do a good job. Now, back to what I was saying. You can blame everybody and everything. Okay? If things ain't the way you like it, change it. If you don't like where your life is at, change it. If you don't like where the country's at, government's at, there's a way to change it. Okay? I know people I'm sick of the way this world is. I'm sick of the way the United States has been run. I'm sick. But they ain't sick enough to go to the polls and ka-chink and make that vote to change it. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. You know, if you don't like the way this country's been, change it. And I'll be honest with you, I don't go to church, but I try to read my Bible. And, you know, I pray. I let words slip. I do sins every day. But I see churches and stuff that's, you know, allowing things that's not supposed to be allowed in the church. And, you know, right now, I feel my best place is here studying that Bible, so I know what it says, and nobody can fool me. They can't come up here and tell me the Bible says this, and me like, oh, okay, I don't know. I'm too lazy to read the Bible, so I don't know what it says. Okay, if you don't like the way this country's going, and, you know, forget all the drag queens and all that. If you don't like gas prices the way they are, food prices the way they are, and all this, go to the polls. Vote for the ones that'll make a change. Okay? Don't be one of the forgetful generation. Okay, look back. Does the Democrats or the Republicans bring down gas prices, bring down food prices, bring down everything to where we can live better? Okay? If you don't like where this country's at spiritually, the place to change it is over in the voting house. And, you know, if there's stuff going on in your church that you don't like, you're supposed to go to the deacons and the pastors. You got to make that choice and go to the pastor deacons and tell them this ain't supposed to happen. This ain't right. This has got to change. Okay, you may have to hunt another church. But it all starts with you. You know, I hear people all the time complaining and just, you know, they hate this, they hate that, they hate this. Okay, and you tell them, well, this is how you change it. Huh, I don't want to do that. Well, quit whining when you're doing it to yourself. If I take that hammer and I put my thumb on the table and I say, boy, I hate it when I bust my finger and I bam, you can look at me and go, you're a daggone fool. What is wrong with you? Why would you hit yourself with that hammer? I let back on that table. Boy, I hate it when I hit my hand with this hammer. Wham! Okay, it's just that simple, people. If you're doing stuff to make your life harder, to make your life worse, you ain't got nobody to blame but you. Okay? And, you know, if you don't like the way where you live, if you don't anything, you have the power to change it. But the first step might be get up off your butt. Nobody owes you nothing. Okay, that's where I had to learn. Nobody owed me nothing. I owed me something if I was going to try to live, be a man, and, you know, try to have a house, apartment, stuff like that. I had to do it. Okay? It's just, this bothers me so bad. And honestly, if you're in a relationship where, you know, if your significant other is fighting, fussing, cussing, quarreling all the time, sit down with them first. Don't just, well, I'm leaving. Sit down with them and ask them, you're mad all the time. What do I have to do to make you happy? Tell them, don't get mad, don't fuss. Tell me. And if that person loves you and you love them, you'll fix that situation. But if they come up with this nonsense, I don't know, I'm mad. Okay. They don't care enough to sit down and tell you, what the problem is. Okay. You better go find somebody that does. And, if honestly, men, I know you work 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day out in the heat. Your wife can sit in her house. She's got the children. She's trying to cook, clean, do laundry, take care of the kids and everything else. Hey, it ain't a woman's job to do it all. Step up. I know you're tired. And I know you just want to sit down a few minutes and just relax. So does she. If you'll step up and help her get the housework done, or if you're a woman working and your husband's at home, step up and help him. Well, when you get to work caught up, the kids bathe and in the bed, you can sit there on the couch together as a team, a partner, and, have that few minutes to rest and relax and so forth. Another thing, Steve Harvey said it best. When you get in a relationship, make it a two-person circle. If you start reaching outside your relationship for advice, thing tickles me is you go straight to your single friends. What do I do? Well, they don't know or they wouldn't be single. They're going to give you bad advice. They don't want to see you happy. Misery loves company. Are they going to sabotage you on purpose? No. But they don't love that person the way you do. They don't have the emotional time and, everything tied up into this relationship like you do. Okay? If you keep that two-person circle, don't ask mama, don't ask daddy. If you want to ask somebody, ask your husband, ask your wife. What do we do? How do we fix this? If you don't know how, there's marriage counselors. And if you go to one that says, it's all him, 100% him, no, it's not. You need to hunt another marriage counselor. Go to your preacher, your pastor, somebody, sit down with them and say, we're having issues bad and we can't work through it. We need help. Okay. But don't go to your friends and mama. Mama don't like your husband anyway because he took her little girl. Or your mama is mad at your wife because she took you and, she's not happy. Okay. Trust me. There is some people out there, parents that honestly give you good advice. But I'm saying, if you're getting bad advice and it looks like it's going to cost you a marriage, you might ought to check into something else. I hope this don't offend you. I hope this don't make you mad. But just honest people, common sense thing is, the only person can change your living situation. Okay, let's talk over I just want to show you, if there was a war, and I was living in New York City, and daily New York City was getting bombed. If I don't want to get killed by bombs, I need to start walking. Okay, I need to get out of New York City. I'm not, I'm just using this as an example. If I'm living right here where I live and it's been bombed daily, I need to be somewhere else, make a change. If you don't like what your situation is, be honest with yourself. You are at least halfway responsible for your situation. I watch, I've seen women being abused physically. I mean, beat by a man. You say, why don't you leave? I can't. I ain't got nowhere to go. I ain't got no. 1,000 excuses. There's abuse shelters that will hide you. You know, I'm sure if there's a man, and I mean a man in your family, and he knows you're being abused, he'll put a stop to that. You know, you used to go to his house, and you know the one I'm talking about, one that would stand up and die for you. You need to go to his house and let him put a stop to it. Okay. I asked him, is there something, they'll get out, they'll leave. Oh, I'm gonna go back. He's changing and everything's going to be different for the 47th time. Okay. There's something about it you like, or you wouldn't put up with it. Okay. You hit me once. Okay. I ain't saying I hit a woman, but if I had to defend myself, if you busted my nose and mouth, okay, we're gonna have a problem. But you ain't gonna be here. You're gonna be in the Gray Cell Motel. And when you get out of the Gray Cell Motel, you ain't gonna be coming back here. All that, oh honey, but no. No. We ain't doing that. Okay? I don't care how much I love you. I love my children. I'll lay my life down today. If one of my kids called me and said, hey Dad, they said I'm gonna die if I don't find a heart. Now you know you can't live without your heart. I'd lay down on that table beside my child and give them my heart. Just so they live. But I will not tolerate one of my children jumping up and busting me in the mouth. I will not tolerate my children running over me and abusing me. And if your children's doing things, here's something you learn. There's a place called rock bottom. If your child's drugging, your child's making your life absolutely miserable, put him out on the streets. Let him learn the hard way. You can pray for him. You can help him to a degree, but you got to quit being the crutch. Okay? If your child is coming in drunk, doped out of his mind, and he's being mean to you and all this, ain't nobody can change that but you. Okay. I know this is hard, and I know people don't like to hear it. I know it makes people mad, and I hope it don't. But it's just common sense, people. And there's a hard time coming. We're just getting started. You all just don't know what's ahead, people. You need to prepare yourselves, not just financially, not putting food up and stuff like that. Okay, you need to, talk to your children and tell them if things get so bad, if they're doing right, come home. We'll work together. We'll make it. Prepare yourself spiritually. If you're a spiritual person, if you're a Christian, whatever, prepare yourself spiritually. Okay. You have to do it. All right, I'm going to end this because my French fries are getting cold. And once again, I hope I don't offend you all, and I hope I don't lose, subscribers. It's just honest fact. It's common sense, people. I didn't always have it, but I found out something. You better have it. You better use it. And if you don't, you'll tumble down that hill. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed. We're like this close to 300 subscribers, and I am so tickled. If you got friends and stuff that's, kind of like in the same stuff we are, recommend me to them. Get them come in here and subscribe. I want 300 so bad. And I mean, it's just a number, but I watched it go to 100, 200, now we're almost 300, and I'm excited. I'm going to do some more videos today. This ain't the only one, but it's raining outside, and I mean, it's muddy. You can't do nothing. I wouldn't step foot in my garden for a $20 bill because you might not get it back. But I went out this morning. I fed the critters and all that. And You know, I don't know. I'm gonna find something to do. I got to make some. I got some cabbage over here from my brother. I'm gonna make him some sauerkraut. Take to him here Saturday. I'm gonna go visit my brother. He's kind of sick. I'm gonna take him a bunch of food stuff up there and give to him to help him out. Not that he needs it, but I'm just going. You know, it's just the right thing to do, and I'm going to do it. But he asked me about some sauerkraut, and he likes my sauerkraut, so I'm gonna take him some sauerkraut, and I'm gonna make him some. But y'all seen me make sauerkraut a dozen times, so I don't guess you won't watch that. But I'll figure something through. We'll do something today. But I'm gonna end the video, and I'm gonna eat my French fries. Uh, so I'll say y'all have a good day, have a blessed day, be good to each other, and we'll see you on the next video. Okay.